we still wanna see you wanna find it. Say you're gonna treat, say you're gonna treat, say you're gonna treat me right. No, we don't really know where we're going, but we still wanna see you wanna find it. Say you're gonna treat me right. Say you're gonna treat, say you're gonna treat me right.
Good afternoon. Well, I guess it's still technically morning for another hour, so good morning.
So you're gonna treat me right. No, we don't really know where we're going, but we still wanna see you wanna find it. So you're gonna treat, so you're gonna treat, so you're gonna treat me right.
I was about to say, what are you typing in there, man? Oh. Yeah, things are going well in Tatertown on the recruiting trail, that's for sure. Had a good week. Yes. What's up, Harold? Yes, every day is a great day to be a Tiger. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now, actually. Let's see here. Clemson. Oh. All right, let's turn this damn music off. About that. Let's see, which site do you guys like to use? 247 or Athlon or whatever? Let's do 247 here. Now, I typically really don't pay much attention to recruiting in the summertime. We're 6 months away from, well, whatever they call early signing day, really the main signing day now. And, well, here, let's look at it. Let's take a look at it. Give me a second. And then, you know, most, I think Dabo Swinney has a pretty good record of once guys commit, you know, not flipping or backing out before signing day. He may have had a couple. But, you just never know. You know what I mean? You just never know. Now, some of these guys, I believe, are sure things, like Sammy Brown. I didn't know this about him. You can see there he's from Jefferson, Georgia, 5-star linebacker. I didn't know this about him, but apparently he's been a lifelong Clemson fan. He's always wanted to go to Clemson. So that, I guess that wasn't really much of a surprise as I thought it was originally. But everybody that follows, high school football, they rave about this guy. There's a 4-star wide receiver. He just committed, yesterday? 2 days ago. Yeah, yesterday. Bryant Wesco from Texas. So you have Sammy Brown, 5-star, and then just a stack of 4-stars that have committed. Several of them just in the past week. Tight end, wide receiver, defensive line, cornerback, safety, running back, defensive line, linebacker. Now we're getting on to the 3 stars here. So there you go. Anyway, here we are, the second week of June. Right now, their overall ranking is 8, and their composite rank is 8. Dabo Sweeney really averages around 10 in his long time coaching at Clemson. So he's right in his, he's right in his area where he normally is, and that's where I probably would expect him to finish up. Of course, it's still a long way, but I think they'll probably finish somewhere around 9 or 10, if I had to guess. Anything higher than that's gravy for him. So, all right. What is up, everybody? I'm your host, Pigskin Pete. Welcome to the Midday Show. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody got a chance to, if you didn't watch it live, maybe you can watch it later. The ACC show last night was another great one. We had a lot of fun on there. And, by the way, we did start, because last year we started too late with the team by teams record predictions in the ACC. Thank God for Sea-Dog. I don't know what I would do without him. He reminded me that last year, see what happened last year was we actually did have a plan. We're going to, there's X amount of weeks between now and the start of the season, so we'll do one team a week for 14 weeks or whatever it was. Well, I think we tried to do, there were some weeks where we had to do 2 because we were running out of time. But what ended up happening was, we get this panel of guys on there and everyone starts arguing with each other about the games and the teams. And you spend 2 hours on one team. So then we got down to a situation where we had to cram like 3 or 4 teams into one show, and it just was a shit show. But anyway, Sea-Dog reminded me last night, he's like, we got to start these now because we're going to run out of time like we did last year. So we did one last night. We did Syracuse. And what did we come up with, 4 and 8? Yeah. We have Syracuse going 4 and 8 based on their schedule. And I'll be out of town next week. So Sea-Dog is going to do the ACC show on his channel, and he's going to do a team or 2. I think he said he's going to do maybe like Louisville and Boston College, maybe something like that. He's going to try to do 2 so we can stay on track. And then when I get back from out of town the following week, we'll pick up where we left off and try to get through. Last year we did pretty good. We did pretty good on predicting the or at least close to predicting the records of most of these teams. So we'll see how we can do again this year. Of course, we don't know what we're talking about, but we did good. All right, let's see who's in the chat here, and then we'll get right to the news, of course. And then once the news is over, I'll open up the StreamYard if anybody wants to come on and chat. Cheers to the chat. Good morning. Ballard Sports Media is here. He says, hey, Pete, I'm in class, but leaving a like. Volusia Orange is here. Wet blanket. Pete living the good life. Well, every day above ground's a good life. Jeremy Garrettson. P Digits. Goose. What's up, Goose? Of course, we got our Tater Man in a foreign land, Volusia Orange, who will be in the States in just a short couple of weeks, folks. That's right. That's right. He's coming back to the homeland, baby. And he's bringing his family with him. His family. And I look forward to seeing him when he spends a day in my area here. What's up, Harold? Kevron Harris, Roll Tide, 99. Remember to send in your videos for LouTube talent. Yeah, I actually did send a talent video in yesterday. Yes, this will be my first entry into the LouTube talent contest so far. I don't know if he's been doing it for 3 or 4 years. I've never sent one in. I'm not a very talented person. I don't know if you guys knew that about me. But anyway, I did send in a video. Slim Shady Canes. Cade Club Dick. Yes. Yes, you have to believe that Jeff Scott has something, maybe something, to do with the recruiting trail. That was really his forte, before he went to USF and got fired. Recruiting was always his forte. JC is here. Seminole Seth says, go Noles, Clemson been on fire recently. Yes, yes. VicTube. Tiger Cat, what's up, TK? Brad Pitt. No, it's not armadillo related at all. I guess it kind of could be, but it's not. No. I am every single night if I'm sitting on my back porch, I do have my eyes peeled out for the armadillo, right? And I have my phone right there in case I do see him. I'll get some video of him. But there's still a video of the last time when I chased one of those things out of my backyard on my TikTok page, which I don't think I posted a video on TikTok in probably a year and a half, at least. Maybe a year. Yeah. All right. Let's get to the news, shall we? Of course, I made a video yesterday talking about the biggest sports news in decades. But most people just don't care because it's golf related. But you have to look at what's going on. Just forget the fact that it's golf. It's just it's really nothing's ever happened like this before. But I'm sure we'll read about it. It should be in the news.
Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, I guess maybe, but Clemson and Dabo have been recruiting well in the state of Texas for several years now. Hell, that's where Cade Klubnik's from. Got an offensive lineman from there too, I think. So hopefully Jeff Scott will remind the wide receivers to block. Yeah, no shit. There's another mass shooting. Road rage. I don't know if it's just me. No. Shut up. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just because of this show that I read a lot more news than I would if I wasn't doing the show. That makes sense. But is it just me, or does it seem like there's more and more road rage incidents? And I mean, I know this has always been a thing. You know, people get into it on the road. But it seems to me like they're becoming more and more violent. Is that just like my perception from reading the news, or does anybody else believe that? It used to be like people would yell at each other and flick each other off. Somebody, you know, they might get into a little fist scuffle, but now they just kill each other. You know, because you cut them off at the red light or whatever. Shit's wild. A 48-year-old man and a 47-year-old woman were killed while a Sunday drive in their 1987 Porsche 911 on SR 73 near Eagle Mountain, Utah, when a truck involved in a road rage incident crossed the center line, slamming into their vehicle head-on. This just shows you that even if you don't participate in road rage, it absolutely can affect you or the people you love. Yeah, of course. Watch a grown man attack a group of teenagers in Florida road rage incident. What? Look at that car. All right, let's see what this is talking about here. They told me to click this, so I'm clicking it. I think it's a video. There's your boy right there. All right, let's see what this is about here. Guess there's no volume. All right, so I guess this man, this must be the guy right here in this white truck. It looks like that red car is the car of a bunch of teenagers, like high school age kids. So he gets out of the truck, walks over to the car. They try to open the door. He shuts it back. Now the driver gets out, and the passenger. Oh shit! I wonder what he's mad about. I guess something that happened on the road. So this that girl. Oh, now he's beating him up. Look, everyone's got their cell phone out, you know? Like this guy's got his cell phone out right here. So he attacks one of the kids and then gets in his car and drives off. There you go. What? Okay, here we go. You guys ready for this one? United States recovered an intact and partially intact vehicles of non-human origin, says a whistleblower. An absolutely bonkers report out of Monday from the news outlet Debrief details the efforts of a former U.S. intelligence agent to bring to light an 80-plus year cover-up about the truth about UFOs. Or as they are now known, unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP. Why do they have to change the name of it? A UFO is perfectly fine. Okay? it's something that everybody, when you say it, knows what you're talking about. And then they had to go change it to UAP. Get out of here. I refuse to call it UAP. What do you think about that? I'm putting my foot down on this one. UFO, bro. David Charles Grush isn't just some guy waving signs on a street corner in D.C. He's a decorated war veteran who worked with both National Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office, where he worked as on the unidentified, again, on UFO stuff, UFO task force. I'm not calling it UAP. And he had top clearance levels. So that what they're trying to do here is prove to you that this guy's not a quack job. Okay, he's been studying these UFOs for many years for the government with top security clearance. Right. He's not one of these people that claims he got abducted in the middle of the night and probed by little green men. Grush turned over classified information to the intelligence community, Inspector General, and Congress in an effort to shed light on the UFOs for the American public. His claims of what is being kept hidden from the American people are startling. So let's see what he says is being hidden. This is good. He said that the recoveries of partial fragments through and up to intact vehicles have been made for decades through the present day by the government, its allies, and defense contractors. Analysis has determined that the objects retrieved are of exotic origin, non-human intelligence, whether extraterrestrial or unknown origin. In filing his complaint, Grush is represented by a lawyer who served as the original intelligence community inspector general. We're not talking about prosaic origins or identities, he said. The material includes intact and partially intact vehicles. They've said that about 3 times now. So he's saying what several other people have been saying for 30 and 40 years now, that we have UFOs, bro. You know? All right. The United States cannot ban people convicted of nonviolent crimes from owning a gun. What is this? Is this like a... according to Reuters, the U.S. government cannot ban people convicted of nonviolent crimes from possessing guns. A federal appeals court ruled on Tuesday. Yes, this is a court ruling. The 11-4 ruling from the Philadelphia-based Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals is the latest defeat for gun control laws in the wake of U.S. Supreme Court ruling last year expanding gun rights nationwide. The decision stems from a 2020 lawsuit by a Pennsylvania man, Brian Range, who was barred under federal law for possessing a gun after he pled guilty to welfare fraud. He claimed the prohibition violated his right to bear arms under the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Yeah, I would have to agree with this ruling, at least what I hear about it so far. You know, just being convicted of a felony in and of itself should not restrict somebody's right to own a gun, in my opinion. It depends on what the crime is. And also, I don't think it should be a lifelong ban. Even if, depending on what you do, there should be some avenue to restore your rights. Unless you're convicted of shooting somebody and killing them, then maybe you shouldn't have a gun then. If you're a murderer. But you see what I'm saying. I mean, welfare fraud, come on. I mean, the guy's a piece of shit for committing welfare fraud, but hey, a lot of pieces of shit own guns. Isn't that what Brett Favre was convicted of? Or not convicted of, accused of? Some sort of welfare fraud down in Louisiana? Is that right? I think it is. As far as I know, he's never been, charged with anything, so I guess there's not enough evidence. Anyway, quote, we are very pleased that the Third Circuit has vindicated the rights of our client by faithfully applying the Supreme Court's decision. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm and Explosives, the ATF is now ATFE? They added explosives to it. Isn't it weird that we have a bureau? I mean, this has always been weird. But isn't it weird that we have a federal agency and it's called alcohol, tobacco, and firearms? Like those three things. Like I understand like an agency that has to regulate firearms, right? But where does the alcohol and tobacco come in? That must just be, when was the ATF created? Is this like a prohibition thing? Is that why it is? It's just a weird combination of, I don't know. It seems weird to me. Range pled guilty in 1995 to committing welfare fraud in Pennsylvania in order to obtain $2,458 of food stamps, a misdemeanor punishable by up to 5 years in prison. He was sentenced to 3 years of probation. So this wasn't even a felony. It's just a misdemeanor, according to them. What kind of misdemeanor will land you in jail for 5 years? That's weird. Well, it didn't land him in jail. He got probation, but it said punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Federal criminal law generally bars people convicted of crimes punishable by more than a year in prison from possessing guns. I didn't even know that. I thought you had to have a felony. Such crimes are usually felonies, but the law also includes some state misdemeanors. Okay, there you go. A federal judge ruled against Range in 2021. Last June, however, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment protects individuals' right to carry guns in public for self-defense, and that any restrictions on that right must be consistent with the nation's historical tradition of gun regulation. So there you go, bro. My man got his gat back, didn't he? My man got his gat back. A suspension bridge in India collapsed for the second time in years. Well, they need to fire the engineer who built that shit. God damn. The damn thing fell, so they built it again, and it fell again. I hope nobody was hurt. Look at that. That's what happens when you build a bridge out of Quikrete. Motherfuckers went to Home Depot and got some shit to build a bridge, bro. A bridge under construction in eastern India state collapsed for the second time in 2 years. There were 8 men on the bridge when it collapsed, and one of them has been reported missing. Oh, no. That's not funny. Many buildings and bridges and flyovers in India have come crashing down due to poor construction. You think? Oh, this damn thing wasn't even functional bridge. It was under construction from the first time it fell. They were still building it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. What are they running from? I'm gonna watch that again. Look at this. God dang.
But not everyone's living. Home internet shouldn't be a luxury. Everyone should have it. And now...
Oh yeah, you're right. They are. Because they stand there with their phones out, you know, they're videoing it. And then all of a sudden they all start freaking out and running. But let me rewind this. So the collapse of the bridge causes like a giant wave to start coming their way. So they're running from the wave. Look at this. I mean, it's not like a tsunami wave or anything, but still, it's a pretty big wave. See, right? So look. You can kind of see the edge of it right here. Of course, whoever's recording this video is doing it on a BlackBerry or something. I don't know. They don't have iPhones in India? Wow. Listen, nothing against Indians. They seem like very, very nice people. But who in the hell would want to live there? I mean, the bridges are falling. You know, walking out your front door, you can get jacked by a tiger or a freaking leopard or something. No, thank you. You know? I don't want to live anywhere where I might get attacked by a tiger if I walk outside. Anywhere. What? So how many countries does that exclude me from living in? You know? Tigers only live in Asia, don't they? I think so. There's no tigers. There's only lions in Africa. I don't think there's tigers in Africa. I'm almost certain there's no tigers in South America. There's not any in North America. Well, there is, but they're in captivity. And none in North America. I think it's all Asian countries that have tigers. Yeah. Gigantic mountains inside of Earth mystify scientists. Well, I thought the Earth was hollow. That's what some guy on YouTube told me. Not only is the Earth hollow, but there's like lizard people that live in there. So what you're telling me is that guy's wrong? No, don't tell me that. Have you guys ever heard the hollow Earth theory? I can't figure out what's crazier, the hollow Earth theory or flat Earth. Mount Everest may be the highest peak on Earth, but the BBC reports that there are staggeringly tall mountains deep inside of our planet's interior that dwarf the tallest ranges on the surface. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say we really know nothing. You know how people always say we don't know, we know more about the moon and space and shit like that than we do about our own oceans. We've explored more of the moon than we have our own oceans, the ocean floor. We don't know shit about what's inside of our Earth. It's just a guess. I mean, there's a lot of evidence to say, due to the magnetic field and all that the center of the Earth most likely is some sort of melted metal, iron, molten iron, but we don't really know. I mean, no one's ever drilled to the center of the Earth before. I mean, I tried to dig to China when I was a kid, but I only got down like 3 feet. And then I had to go inside to eat dinner. Millis Vanillis, thank you for the super chat. Mrs. Millis lost a family member. We didn't get the talent show video completed. Hopefully we can finish before next Monday. So there you go. If you're listening, Lou, he's going to try to get your talent show video in before next Monday. Well, where was I at? Oh, these gigantic buried mountain ranges called ultra-low velocity zones, or ULVZ, are located in the core mantle boundary inside the Earth, around 1,800 miles deep. Some can be four and a half times the height of Mount Everest, or more than 24 miles in height. Damn. Can you build a cabin in the mountains inside the Earth? A mountain cabin inside the Earth, bro. Scientists have speculated that these structures may be the remnants of an ancient oceanic crust that were pushed deep into the Earth's interior, or parts of the mantle that have been superheated by the planet's searingly hot core. So there you guys have it. The Earth is apparently not hollow, and there is not lizard people living in there. But there is some mountain ranges down there. Iran unveils what it calls a hypersonic missile able to beat air defenses amid tensions with the United States. Oh, that's good. That's good. I always like whenever these. Well, I don't like it. It's freaking scary, to be honest with you. But these countries that put their military weapons on display, like it's a watch at a watch store, like it's like. Look at it. It's like a whole display. And look at the graphic behind it. Look at this. These people are out of their mind. It's showing a graphic of this hypersonic missile shooting into space and then coming down on America. The hell, man? It's not scary at all, is it? All right, so according to the United Arab Emirates, Iran claimed on Tuesday that it had created a hypersonic missile capable of traveling at 15 times the speed of sound, adding a new weapon to its arsenal, and tensions remain high with the United States over Tehran's nuclear program. The new missile, called Fatah, or as it means in Iranian, conqueror, was unveiled even as Iran said it would reopen its diplomatic post on Tuesday in Saudi Arabia after reaching a detente with Riyadh following years of conflict. The tightly choreographed segment on Iranian state television apparently sought to show that Tehran's hardline government can still deploy arms against its enemies across much of the Middle East. Today, we feel that deterrent power has been formed. The president of Iran said the power is an anchor of lasting security and peace for the regional countries. Yeah, nothing says peace more than hypersonic missiles. Oh, man, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, man. Humans are a funny species, aren't we? We are a funny species. A homeowner clashes with a thief in his backyard after a security camera catches the break-in attempt. Must be one of them Ring doorbells. Know what I mean, bro? Look at that picture right there. Look at the look on his face. A Staten Island, New Yorker, a homeowner, raced back to his house to confront an alleged burglar after his phone alerted him to activity on his doorbell camera. Yep. It's always the doorbell camera. I checked out the motion alert and saw there was a gentleman in front of my house. I'm watching him live, checking my door handle and make his way into my backyard. Schlager said he was on his way to Brooklyn when he received an alert on his phone, prompting him to call the police to report the suspected break-in of his home. However, the homeowner did not wait for police to arrive. Instead, returning to his home to confront the suspected burglar. He said, "F the police. I'll handle this, Jack." When Schlager arrived at his home, he found the thief, identified as 39-year-old Seth Flint, had gained entry into his house through the back door and was packing up a bag of his homeowner's belongings. This man's just helping himself to this man's shit, you know? Oh, this looks nice. Take that. It's like shopping, but you don't have to pay for anything, you know? Oh, this looks good. I'll take that. Oh, I think my wife would really love this necklace. Grab that. So it looks like they got into a scuffle. The confrontation quickly escalated with Schlager and Flint getting into a physical altercation in the yard. The homeowner says he gained the upper hand in the fight and pretty quickly, causing Flint to flee the property. So the burglar was getting that ass whipped and he took off. Well, according to the homeowner anyway, you know how that goes. Schlager says he escaped the fight relatively unhurt, but was suffering some wrist pain as a result of the altercation. That he plans to have checked by the doctor. He has wrist pain from punching that guy. That's what he's trying to say here. Well, nobody was. It sounds like nobody was hurt seriously, and the burglar got away with his free shit. And it's a happy ending for everybody. New York City prosecutor drops over 300 convictions tied to officers found guilty of crimes. Damn. Listen to this here. Manhattan's top prosecutor on Tuesday disavowed over 300 convictions tied to the police officers who were themselves found guilty of crimes. The latest in over 1,000 dismissals citywide of cases connected to officers who were charged or convicted. The latest abandoned convictions, almost all misdemeanors, date back as far as 1996. Each involves one of 9 officers who were later convicted of on-the-job offenses. Among them, taking bribes, illegally selling guns, lying under oath. No, police wouldn't lie. Come on, that's bullshit. I don't believe it. Lying under oath and planting drugs on suspects. The good guys. Those are the good guys. Back the blue. Until they plant drugs on you. The case has put more than 50 people behind bars and imposed fines on 130 of them. We cannot stand by convictions that are built on cases brought by members of law enforcement who have violated the law. The dismissals began with drug convictions built by a former narcotics detective, Joseph Franco, who was charged with perjury until the case against him was thrown out mid-trial in this January. The case collapsed when Bragg's office acknowledged failing to turn over evidence as required to the defense. By then, prosecutors in Brooklyn and Manhattan and the Bronx had gotten hundreds of Franco-related convictions thrown out, and several public defense and exoneration advocacy groups had written a letter urging the city's DAs to do likewise in the cases involving 22 other officers. Crooked cops, bro. New species. I feel like every time there's a story on here about finding some new species, It's not really a new species. Let's see what this one says. You know? I already don't like the way that this is written. I'll tell you that right now. Can we just see a picture of it, please? I don't even care. I don't even want to read this. See? It's a frog. I've seen one of those before. I've actually seen a frog before. It's amazing. So I guess they're saying this is some new species of frog. No, it's not new. It's new to you. It's new to you. But this little fella's probably been around for a long time. What is on his back there? That thing looks crazy looking. You see that? What is this here? What the hell? Now, this looks like a frog that's morphing into a turtle or something. Oh, no, those are little baby frogs on his back. That's what that is. I thought it was like a little shell. It looked like a little shell or like a turtle shell. It's a frog. Uh-oh. Anybody out there own a Ford? Ford recalls 125,000 vehicles over engine failures that can cause fires. Ruh-roh. Are these electric vehicles? It must be. Let's see. Ford Motor Company said on Tuesday it is expanding and issuing a new recall for 125,000 sport utility vehicles and trucks because engine failures may cause a fire. So these are all SUVs. The recall covers various Escape and Lincoln Corsair SUVs and Maverick compact pickup trucks from the 2023 model years, with 2.5-liter hybrid or plug-in hybrid engines. There you go, bro. So it's either hybrids or electrics. So if you have a Ford SUV, model year of the past 3 years, you might want to take it in, so you don't burn your house down when you're trying to charge your car, bro. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be good. I have no idea what this is, but I'm going to click on it anyway. Chinese ex-official's wife. Now, what does that even mean? Ex-official's wife. So he used to be a Chinese official. I guess he's not anymore. Or is he ex-official or ex-wife? Ex-official's wife says alleged reparation pressure turned her life in the U.S. upside down. Okay. A former Chinese official and his wife had left their homeland and kept their U.S. address private. Yet 8 years later, two strangers were banging on their New Jersey front door and twisting the handle. The wife testified in U.S. court on Monday. When the men left, Liu Fang opened the door. She found an anonymous note telling her husband that if he returned to China, he would serve 10 years in prison. But his wife and children would be okay. That's weird. Like, somebody's going to track you down in the United States, come to your house, and then leave you some note that says, hey, if you come back to China and serve your prison sentence, we'll leave your kids and your wife alone. Now, I don't know about you. I wouldn't go back. Why would you? I mean, if the lock hadn't held, what happens if they were able to come in, she wondered. So it looks like they got they arrested the guys who left the note, or at least they got them, at the criminal trial of a man who helped post the note. The co-defendants are charged with playing other roles in the alleged campaign to hound ex-official Zhu Jin into returning to China. That's like that guy, that idiot. We read this story. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think he was like a pedophile or something. You remember that guy? He was like a wealthy, like, multimillionaire that lived in France, but he was also a pedophile. So he was wanted for like these heinous crimes, but France would not extradite him, right? So instead, and he lived in some like palace in France, like living the good life up there, right? But this guy just couldn't help himself. Like, France is already saying we're not going to extradite him, just letting this guy live his life. But he just can't help himself. So what does he do? He travels down to like the Dominican Republic or something. Of course, you know what he was trying to do down there. And the American authorities find him there and arrest him. You know, these people are idiots. Like if you're wanted in a country and you're in the country that you live in, another country, and the country you live in refuses to extradite you, why would you leave? These people are dopes. Something tells me this guy's not a dope, though. This Chinese guy's not, he's not going back to China. He said, F that, I'll just stay in New Jersey, bro. The Garden State. They have NBA here. Body cam footage shows a Phoenix police shooting a woman in her car. The woman was shot on May 22nd. It turns out it was determined later that she had a butane lighter in the shape of a handgun. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Body camera footage released Monday by Phoenix police shows moments officers shot and seriously injured a woman in late May after police thought she had pointed a gun at them, which was later determined to be a butane lighter resembling a handgun. Where do you get one of those? I want one of those. I would like a lighter that's shaped like a gun. Can I buy that on Amazon? You ever seen those though, for real? Like, you pull the trigger in the like a cigarette lighter. You pull the trigger on the little gun and the flame comes out of the barrel. You light your cigarette with it. Oh man. The video released by police, which contains snippets of edited body camera footage as well as the audio from the 911 call, shows a woman sitting in the driver's seat of a sedan vehicle with a dog in the back seat. While an officer knocks and then pounds on her window and tells her to put her vehicle in park. The woman does not comply. She reverses her car and drives off. This woman's a gangster. Oh, shit, what happened? Damn it, I lost my place now. All right. The woman's vehicle was ultimately stopped when officers used her grappler near 19th Avenue and Phelps Road. Police then commanded her to turn off the car and show her hands, which she did not comply with, and proceeded to and produced an object perceived to be a handgun and pointed it at the officer. Several officers fired their guns at her. Lucky she's lucky she's not dead, bro. The body camera footage shows one of the officers standing on the driver's side of the patrol car and telling the woman to show her hands and turn the car off. All the while, her dog barks continuously. The car and the woman cannot be seen in the video. So they don't really... All right. So I guess you can't really tell what the woman's doing in the body cam thing. But this says the body cam footage shows. Where's the body cam footage? Can we watch it? Is this it? No, this is just an advertisement. Someone left a coveted item and never returned. Students found it 4,300 years later. What? You know what? I don't even care. I'm not reading that. Biggest source of carbon emissions will shock you. I thought it was cow farts. That's what AOC said. Cow farts. Oh, talk about an uplifting headline here. We are now dangerously close to nuclear war. Well, that's good. Missouri wants to execute Michael, I don't know how you say his name, Tuesday, despite widespread plea to spare his life. Plea by who? A self-portrait by Michael on the right, based of an image of him as a child on the left. No one likes you. You're ugly. You're stupid. You should kill yourself. You're a piece of shit. This is what's written on. I'm not saying this is what's written on this self-portrait this guy made of himself. So clearly he's out of his mind and depressed. Missouri is pushing to execute a man on Tuesday despite pleas from legal, human rights, and religious groups to spare his life. The state is currently fighting in court to kill Michael Tisius as punishment for killing 2 jail guards when he was 19 years old during a botched plot to free his former cellmate. He is scheduled to be executed by lethal injection, although his request for a stay is pending before the Supreme Court. So he killed two jail guards, and he's on death row. Why? So why are they pleading for him to not? I don't understand. What's the? Unlike some other groups calling for mercy, the American Bar Association does not take a position on the death penalty. Rather, it has a long-standing position that the state should administer the death penalty only when performed in accordance with the constitutional principles of fairness and proportionality that limit the death penalty to the worst of the worst. So the story here basically is there's anti-death penalty, groups. That are interjecting themselves in this guy's case. That's what it sounds like to me. Wow, we made it all the way to the bottom of the news. Can you believe it? That might be a first. I did skip over a lot of stories, though. My favorite one was the guy that's this guy, the UFO guy. Yeah, that was my favorite story. All right, let's see who's in the StreamYard, shall we? God dang it, I always do that. All right, let's see who we got here. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hello.
What's up?
Not much. Just got up.
Got out?
No, just got up.
Got up.
But why are you sleeping so late, Nate? It's 12 o'clock.
Well, let's just say I was talking to my friends on Discord at 1 a.m. in the morning.
was gonna say I know you weren't.
You were
drunk and
talking to your
hungover,
friends on Discord, huh?
Yeah, 1 a.m. in the morning. Yes.
Which friends are these?
It's only 11 where he's at, Pete.
Still.
No, it's well, yeah, but
1 a.m. in the morning is an example of a tautology, by the way.
We call that redundancy.
but no, these are my.
Are you sure it wasn't 1 a.m. in the afternoon?
There you go. Okay.
1 a.m. in the morning. Yes.
You sure it wasn't 1 a.m. in the afternoon, though?
No.
Oh.
Don't get me perturbed.
So who are your friends that you're on Discord at 1 a.m. in the morning with?
Well, these are my friends that I knew since high school and kindergarten. So.
Oh. So not YouTube people. Like
No,
people that you know, like from Nebraska.
Right. Yep.
Imagine that conversation. What did you guys talk about?
And basically some random shit, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I figured that, but can you give me an example?
We told ourselves that we're innocent. We're not really, which means. So basically, I'm trying to say that, well, my friend Matt, one of my friends, Matt, well, I'm not gonna say his.
Don't give us names.
Please don't.
Well,
Yeah.
I just did, but whatever.
Well, okay, that's fine. No last names or anything, though.
I won't.
Yeah.
But my friend Matt, he was talking about the orange and black site. I don't know why, but
What? What'd you say?
nothing.
He was talking about what?
Nothing.
Well, you got to work on your storytelling, Bob.
Yeah.
No,
Orange
it
and
was.
black site. I don't know what that is. Is that?
Is actually the simplest way to say ph. That's
Oh, yes. Pornhub. You can say that.
well. That's why I said orange. And black
Oh.
site.
So the site. Yeah.
But
Shocker.
anyway,
Shocker. Nate's on Discord at 1 a.m. in the morning talking about sites. Is anybody shocked about that?
No.
It's okay.
My friend did, but he brought it up.
His friend did. His friend. Yes. My friend was good.
All right.
I'm surprised, but not by that.
I'm somehow very disappointed. I'm sorry I even asked. I really am.
But the Discord conversation, we actually watched some dumb funny videos.
Okay.
What is that sound? Is a dog dying in the background? What is going on?
I hope not. Belushi will start crying.
That'd be sad. It's a sad situation.
It's inhumane to put anything to death.
No,
no.
my dogs are howling to the practice siren for tornado, what we call it.
There's a siren for a tornado, and you're sitting here with us?
No.
Oh.
It's a practice.
No, it's Wednesday at 11, sir. It's the weekly test.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dogs are howling in that.
They do the same thing here where I live. They test it once a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like that would create a situation where if you hear it, then you just kind of disregard it if you actually need it, though.
You know, you make a good point.
Well, I think you pay a little more attention to it when it's storming outside versus sunny and 86.
Also true. But would they test it if it was 11 a.m. on a Wednesday in the middle of a giant thunderstorm?
I mean,
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Never thought to ask them.
I think that might be
Probably
ill-advised.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
They messed up.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
But
That thing is loud. Hey Nate, do you have like one of those underground tornado shelters or no?
oh, I kind of do, yeah.
You kind of do. Either you do or you don't. You don't kind of do.
Sorta, yes.
Well, you kind of can, yeah. If your house has a basement, that's not necessarily.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about one that's detached from his home.
Like a Dorothy Wizard of Oz type.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, underground utility room. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got kicked out. I'm sure I'm probably still on the air. They can't hear me, though. I got to log back into StreamYard. I don't know what happened. I lost connection.
Pete.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
But that's the utility room. I call that a bunker.
Yeah, it's not a bunker.
A bunker
okay.
though. But
A bunker, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, Slim's gonna get one of those. Like you can buy them on Amazon.
Yeah, but it's only fit for one person.
You can buy anything on Amazon, can't you?
You can buy a bunker.
You
Yeah,
can
well,
actually buy a bunker.
Yeah, you can. You can buy it. What's it called?
Buy guns on Amazon.
You can't buy guns on Amazon. You said?
Nope.
Oh, well, you can buy virtually anything.
You can't buy
on Amazon.
crack on Amazon either.
Well, that's the dark web. We're talking about dark web stuff now. But
Well, you can buy guns
I don't need
for sure.
I don't need the internet to buy crack. All I need is my CB radio.
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't want to buy a gun off of Amazon anyway. I'm not a big I'm not a big fan of. Now you can. There's if you go through a gun dealer, the FFL deal, they'll ship it to the closest dealer. You can't buy a gun on the internet and they send it to your house. That's illegal.
That's good.
It's got to be
That's very, very, very basic. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. That is you shouldn't let that happen.
I don't need one. I have a 3D printer, sir.
Oh wow!
I can make my own.
God.
What do you usually use the 3D printer for, though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. I've used one before. It's pretty cool, but I've never owned one. What do you use it for?
I've made 2 Glock frames.
Oh, so he does use it to make guns. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use it for other stuff? What do people who own 3D printers usually use it for? Do you make
I
if
don't
you
know,
lose
make
a button, can you
fidget
make a button
spinners
to
and
replace
shit.
it?
Fidget spinners.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, I don't know. You can make all kinds of
No.
shit with a 3D printer.
That's why I asked. I don't fucking know either.
Now, when I first got it, I did a test run with it, and I made a spork.
Spork.
Nice.
So,
Dude.
explain to me. I know what 3D printing is, but explain to me the process here. So you buy the print. First of all, how much does this thing cost?
They're fucking expensive.
Well, it depends on what you get. I mean,
Yeah.
you have high-end models, low-end models, and all different kinds of sizes.
Okay. What about yours?
The one I got, I want to say I paid $1,200 for it. $1,500 somewhere in there.
You paid about $1,200 on Amazon for it.
I did not get it off Amazon.
Oh, you
as a
didn't?
matter of fact. No.
All right. So explain the process to me. So you in order to 3D print something, right? Don't you have to have an object for it to scan?
No, you can buy. Well, you can either scan it. Yes, you're right. Or a lot of the files are available online.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you just need the data file of the dimensions and things.
Right. Okay, I got you. But let's say that you wanted. Let's say that you had like you said, you made some Glock frames. Let's say that you had a Glock, that you owned. Could you scan it and basically reprint it?
I mean, I guess you could, but like I said, I bought the file online and
Yeah.
that way.
All right. And so then what? There's you have to buy plastic for it or something, because everything
It's like
3D
a
printed
spool
is
material.
plastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, varying grades.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it can make some pretty sturdy stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, you can buy the material, the polymer material that most guns are made out of anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, most of those guns are polymer frame these days. Or at least the affordable ones are. That's interesting. 3D printing, bro. But let me see. I'm going to look up what would you call that thing that you were talking about getting seriously, like that container that you bury under the ground? What's it called?
They're Connex
bunker.
boxes.
Connex boxes?
Oh,
Yeah.
Connex.
So wait, so you buy it and then you dig a giant hole and bury it, or
Pretty
can you
much.
like pay?
Yeah, it's just
can
a
you, like,
shipping
pay for it?
container.
Yeah, it's a shipping container is all it is.
That's all it is,
Same
yeah.
ones they stack on trains, boats.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll put them on trucks.
Yeah, it's like you remember the movie the Terminator Part 2?
yeah.
You know when there were Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's the chick's name that plays Sarah Connor? Anyway, they got her son and they're running away from the Terminator. You know because now Arnold's the good guy, right? The Terminator's the good guy now. And so they drive out to the middle of the desert in California to one of Sarah Connor's like friends, and they're living out there in the desert. And he's like, what do y'all need? We need gas. We need clothes. We need this. We need that. And Arnold's like, we need guns. And so they go over and they pull this like chain out of the ground, and there's like a shipping container buried in the ground, and they go down there and it's just full of nothing but guns. That's Slim Shady's backyard.
Yeah.
Not far off.
I love that movie.
That's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
It is a classic.
I like it better than the first one.
Yeah, I feel like that's a generally shared opinion.
Yeah.
That's one of the few sequels that surpasses the original.
Are there any others?
Yeah, most movies, you're right. Usually the sequel is not anywhere close to as good as the first one. Because that's the thing. Usually, in order for them to make a sequel, the first one has to be good. That's the reason they're making a sequel.
Right.
Right.
But, yeah, very...
What? The only one I could think of off the top of my head, and there's probably some pushback, and I can understand this. I think Empire Strikes Back is better than the first Star Wars came out.
That's not an outlandish.
Yeah, that's not outlandish at all. Yeah. That's the other thing. The Star Wars debate, that's a different thing.
What about 8 Fast, 8 Furious, though?
Yeah, I think I saw the first, maybe the second one, Fast and Furious, and then I pretty much gave up on that.
Yeah, that was the right move. Yeah.
What is it, like part 15 by now? I don't even know. They should have stopped making those movies when Paul Walker died, though.
I know.
Out of respect.
So they should have stopped making those movies back when Vin Diesel still had one chin.
Yeah. He's like a science experiment. I believe that man's head continues to grow the older he gets. But he's got like a balloon head now. It's an anomaly. It's a medical anomaly. I think my head stopped growing a long time ago. Here you guys have it. So here's the shipping containers that Slim Shady's looking at getting. So you can get a used one, a 40-foot used Connex box for use in high wind, and it's watertight. That's important. It does have to be watertight if you're going to bury it.
Yes.
For $2,200 American dollars.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that, but all right.
Yep.
And I got somebody
if
with a
the
backhoe
world-
that can dig a hole.
Yeah, if the world goes to such shit that I have to live in a shipping container underground for 6 months, I'll just go with the bomb, dude. Fuck it.
You say you're
Well,
just gonna give up, huh?
on top,
Yeah.
on top of its many uses, I also live in Tornado Alley, so
Right.
yeah.
Well, I can't say Nebraska hasn't had tornadoes at all this year because well, not in my area. It's probably west of Nebraska. But my point is, in my area, which is Omaha, we have none so far. I probably just jinxed it. So
I'm still fighting the insurance company to get my money from the last one. Bastards.
Oh, that's
Because of, say, with me, climate change. Anyway, a lot of the tornadoes are moving to the east, so you're getting fewer in places like Nebraska and Kansas, and more in places like Missouri and Illinois, Tennessee.
yeah.
So Jay Shipe says that he had, he said, I've had 4 of those on last property in South Georgia. New owner wanted them removed. They fell apart trying to drag them out of the field. What a mess. They must have been really old.
Yeah.
Like rusty and shit.
Well, I mean, they won't last forever.
No, I mean, they'll rust, won't they? I mean, they're made of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're steel, and they're not stainless.
Right.
But I mean, even stainless will corrode over time.
Yeah, especially if you bury it underground because it's moist under there. You know? I mean, unless you
get a good 20 years out of it.
Unless you bury it in the desert where, the air and the ground are both dry.
Yeah, well, I know somebody who's done that too.
Yeah.
And we've got some dark comments in the comments section today.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. Yeah, hold on. I mean, what did I... Nick DTV says, it's not fun to kill someone if they already want to die, and then gives like a sad face. Like, what? That's really...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do with that, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Hufferbilly says... Hufferbilly says, yeah, they're great for hiding abducted
pussy
women.
Comments. It's inhumane to kill people. Fuck that.
That's
Well, I mean, in general, it is inhumane to kill people. Yes, I think he's correct on that.
Oh shit.
No, it's not.
But
They deserve it.
well, first of all, I am not anti-death penalty, because I could tell you everyone's anti-death penalty until it's their family member that's affected.
Right.
Yeah,
You
right.
know.
your principle, but okay.
Because most people, I better just shut up. Before I get into conversation, I don't want to get
Go
into.
right ahead, Pete.
Yeah. All I was gonna say, in certain situations, if somebody, one of my loved ones, is affected in that way, the best thing that could happen to that person would be the death penalty instead of me getting a hold of them. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, I agree that
Maybe
it's
they-
hypocritical to be anti-capital punishment, but pro when it comes to when it actually affects you personally. That's hypocritical.
Maybe they should let you get a hold of him.
Oh, well, I mean, we are a nation of laws. We can't be having vigilante justice out there being the norm, you know.
Yes,
But
we can.
Do you remember?
Did you just read a story Monday about how they're not calling the police? They're calling the neighborhood watch?
Yeah,
Yes, we absolutely
Right.
can.
yeah. Well,
Fucking call me. I'll be the next Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't give a fuck.
oh God,
I'll have South Memphis cleaned up in a week.
God.
Wow. All right. No, did you see this story? It was just from like I think the 80s, where there was a guy whose son was abducted and molested, and then they arrested the guy who did it, and they were walking him through the airport, and his father showed up in disguise and pretended like he was using a payphone and shot the guy in the head as he was being led out of the airport. by the
I've seen
cops.
the video of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
There's the one of the, I think it might have been in the 1980s or 70s. I can't remember which one it was, but the mother of her child was killed by this guy and raped or whatever, and she just brought a gun right in the courtroom and fucking executed him right there in front of the judge and everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd have dropped the gun. Yeah, I'll go peacefully at that point.
And they didn't get, I forget what they gave her. She did go to prison for that. I mean, obviously you can't murder somebody in a courtroom, but it wasn't for long. You know, she got out.
People have done that and gotten off on temporary insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I don't think that should be what the standard is. But then again, I mean, you know, I get it. I just don't think that the state should be doing that. That's all.
You want to lower the crime rates? That's a way to do it.
Right. Although I do have some breaking news, though.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. So the driver will be doing his drink on his channel
Today?
today. Yes.
Oh, wow. So
Lena's back. That's right.
So he's done being mad about whatever he's mad about. He's over it now. That's good.
We've heard the rant about the post office. Get ready. Are you ready?
What's up, Brett? How you doing, buddy?
Brett's in the house. What's up, Bo?
You might have stepped away from the microphone for a minute or something.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
Chilling, bro.
I was just, I was hoping I could get the same people on that we were having the conversation with about Stetson Bennett not getting drafted at all.
Who said
True.
he wasn't? Who said
I think I said that.
I think I said it too.
Who said he wasn't going to get drafted?
Well, we just said me and Volusia did.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
we did say that.
I believe that.
That doesn't mean it was a good idea.
Right,
I mean, it was a good
So
idea.
that's my point, and I did say about before the draft, if he gets drafted, I just think it'll be in the late rounds. I can't believe how high he got drafted. That did blow my mind.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just look at the first round. Anthony Richardson went in the first round, so obviously there's fucking morons in Georgia.
Well, not only the first round, he was the 4th overall pick, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was dumb as hell.
Either it was dumb as hell or Billy Napier is a terrible coach.
Well,
So, regardless,
Both those things can be
regardless of
true.
all of those exclusionary
No.
policies there, what round did he go in?
Both.
who?
The fourth.
Bennett went the
Fourth round,
fourth.
wasn't
Fourth.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was-
Stetson Bennett, the 4th, went in the 4th. Yes.
it? There we go.
Right. So he's going to be a Stafford.
He's going to be, he's going to be taken under Stafford's wing. So the Rams have not one but 2
Yeah.
former Georgia quarterbacks on their roster.
He's not. Yeah, he's gonna be a staffer. Yeah, that's correct. Pretty soon.
A staffer.
I'll tell you what. I will play on the practice squad. I'll be a staffer. I'll be an analyst. I'll be a water boy for what they get paid.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
no,
for,
yeah,
league,
no,
for the league minimum, I'll keep the whole fucking bench warm.
Yeah, but I mean, 4th round money's pretty good.
turning heads in practice.
Turning heads, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
practice.
Yeah.
looking down, trying to find him. They're turning down to try and figure out where the fuck he's at.
Nobody's making that same comment about Bryce Young, though, are they?
No, because he's good at
Yes.
football.
No,
Yeah, well, no,
Actually,
no,
they
yes,
are making
I've
fun
made
of it.
I've made a lot of short jokes about Bryce Young. Yes, I have.
I mean, he's shorter. I mean, he's shorter than Stetson. So.
Okay,
man,
but they're both still short. So
Yeah.
In all seriousness, I wish him well, and I hope he has a great career, injury-free, and all of that. I mean, I'm skeptical that he'll ever see the field, but if he proves me wrong, so be it. I'll eat crow. I'll say,
Well, there's some benefit. There's
Which
some benefit because the
Bryce.
NFL just changed the rule too.
What role?
which is that?
Dead or Bryce or both.
Yeah. So the NFL just added a rule where you can have 3 quarterbacks on the
I
roster
saw
to
this.
travel.
Oh, you can travel with 3. Is that what you said?
Yep,
I
you can
thought you
travel
were-
with 3 now.
Allowed to have 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
which I
because-
really don't see the point in because they're taking all the hitting out of football. So how are you going to lose one?
Well, right. The
Well, they
issue
might-
is that
they might stub their
in the
toe,
NFC
Slim.
championship game. In the NFC Championship last year, one team had to play with fucking a running back and quarterback, that being the Niners with McCaffrey, which is a pretty bad look when you're in the NFC title game and you got a running back having to play quarterback. So that's not
Well, Mike still works. I just can't.
Yes,
hear
quarterbacks
anything.
are still getting hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair to Stetson, I'm not sold, and I'm a Panthers fan, but I'm still not sold on Bryce Young yet. I mean, I know he's a really good player in college. I need to see him do it in the NFL before I can believe it.
I really would have gone with C.J. Stroud, but that's me.
Well, that's who I wanted. But
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to give him a chance. I mean,
yeah, I like, and again, don't get me wrong, I like Bryce Young. I don't dislike him at all, and I think he's got potential. But I don't know him. We've seen this story before. It does just
saying
because
that
you're a
he's
great
really
college player
fucking
doesn't always pan out, huh?
Yeah, but they're saying he's really smart. His football IQ is really,
Yeah.
really high, and I think that's a good sign.
Right.
Well, that's fine, but when you only come up to mid-thigh on the offensive line, that could be a problem.
Well, he's not Kyler Murray. How tall is Bryce Young?
Well, let's
He's
look
not-
at this.
Actually, him and Kyler Murray are right at about the same height.
Yeah. He's
Let's
they're
look
the same
at it this
size.
way. I don't think Georgia had an offensive lineman under 6'6", and he was the MVP of every playoff game he was in and in the national championship. So
Yeah, but then again, you can't expect you can't expect an NFL offensive line to be as dominant in terms of the push.
So
they
they have, well, the internet, Wikipedia has both Kyler Murray and Bryce Young listed at 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray is far more athletic than Bryce Young.
That is true. That is 100% true.
Bryce Young is probably better at the quarterback position than Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
So at least he has the potential to be.
Well,
I mean, both of them won the Heisman, so.
I mean, even Stead is more athletic than Bryce.
Kyler Murray's not a very likable guy, is he?
No.
Kind of
I thought it was Baker Mayfield. I felt like he wasn't tall.
Well, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is a very
6'1".
likable guy either.
Yeah, I think Baker Mayfield's over 6 feet.
He's more
He's only
likable.
6'1", though.
brother.
Not super tall.
He's,
Right,
he's
but
more
Drew
likable
Brees and Russell Wilson are short. I mean,
than
you can't, you know.
Jackson, though, I mean.
Speaking of not very likable guys, Johnny Manziel was only 6 foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but a hard worker, he was not.
He's a party pooper or something like that.
I mean, right after the Super Bowl, Pat Mahomes had that fucking press conference where he went on about, I'm not about my money anymore. I'm about my legacy. Yeah, motherfucker, that's easy to say after you sign a $500 million contract.
Yeah. If you're not about that money, how about give some of it back so you can give some of the other players more? You know?
Right?
Or give the charity.
Hang on, let's see. I want to see something.
Yeah, it's funny. It's always the really, really wealthy people that are like, oh, I don't care about money. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
I'm really
But see,
optimistic
everybody
that-
attributed Tom Brady taking a pay cut to the fact that his wife was rich. Tom Brady took less money before he married her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Tom Brady did the right thing there in terms of winning because that's what he.
Because he actually was worried about winning.
Correct, and I'm optimistic as a Bengals fan that Joe Burrow is going to do the same thing to make sure the Bengals can hold on to guys like T. Higgins and obviously Chase and the other guys and keep the defense sound. You know what I mean? I feel like he will, and I think that Burrow is more in the Brady mold.
Didn't Higgins sign an extension recently? I thought he did. Huh?
Right. I don't. I'm not sure.
I'm generally with Pete's take. Go get your money if that's what you want, but don't pull an Aaron Rodgers and bitch about you don't have a team around you when you want this enormous contract.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
So how about this for a number for you? So he signed for, was it $500 million plus dollars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mahomes, something like that.
Yeah, Mahomes. Yeah.
It was a 10-year contract.
I think 501 or something. Yeah.
If he spent all of that money on the average price of an NFL ticket, he could buy 1.5 million NFL tickets. Think about that. That is likely more people in person than will ever see him play the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Well, right, but obviously the ticket office isn't what's generating the majority of the profit for his team.
Oh no, 100%. I just think it's funny that they're paying him more money than tickets he will ever sell.
Yeah.
Brandon Pratt says Bryce Young looks like a Make-A-Wish kid at practice. Damn.
Lies detected.
Make-A-Wish kid.
Yep.
Well, I hope he's wishing for a Super Bowl. That's all I say.
No.
I don't know, Pete. I'm pretty high on Bryce Young. I think he's going to be pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I am now a by proxy Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Because of all the Georgia guys they drafted, their whole defense
is basically Georgia 2.0.
Yeah. Did they get Ringo or who did they get this year? I forget.
I think they got everybody, including Kirby Smart, Todd Monken at this point.
Fucking hell, man. Yeah.
They get Ringo. They got.
I mean, I followed other Miami players in the NFL, but I was still always a Tampa fan.
Yeah.
So who's Tampa's best Miami? I guess it's Sapp, right?
Yeah, that probably has been out the best thing.
Well, he's definitely the best defensive player they've ever had, but.
I have a question. Quick question. Is Kyle Trask still in the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Bucks. He's probably going to start for the Bucks.
Yeah, he plays for Tampa Bay.
Okay, I was making sure.
That'd be him or a Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be.
Man, things are really taking a turn for the worse down there in Tampa Bay, haven't they? Bryce,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, this is pretty bad this year.
Well, I mean, Kyle Trask has actually looked decent when they put him in. I don't know why they won't give him a shot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think he'll get a shot this year. I think we get a shot this year.
I hope so. I've got more faith in him than Baker.
Right. Well, it's because the NFL doesn't like Florida players. That's what if you ask Celine, he would that the NFL just hates Florida. Yeah.
That's
I don't know. The NFL sure liked Percy Harvin. So that they liked Aaron Hernandez too till he went to prison.
Yeah.
Why would the NFL have a problem with the state of Florida? That doesn't even make any sense. Or the Florida University of Florida.
Pete, I will tell you this.
Because Tim Tebow did get done wrong. I'll say that.
Are they still worried they might have another Aaron Hernandez situation on their hand with these Florida players? Is that what it is?
Where's my skillet?
Pete, did you see that there was an NFL scout that came out hating on Clemson, or former NFL scout, saying that a lot of scouts actively stay away from drafting Clemson players just because they're Clemson players?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yes.
That pissed me off.
Well, then they pointed to, it said, I forget what the exact words the guy said about the Clemson players, that whatever it was that he was criticizing about them, and then it's like, then somebody posted a list of all the elite, like top level NFL defensive players that are playing right now, and doing very well.
Well, I mean, the Falcons aren't afraid to draft.
Not just defensive players. Look at the wide receivers in the NFL from Clemson right now: Mike Williams, Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, who am I missing? Yeah, Renfro.
Renfro was one of my favorite wide
There's
receivers.
more than that. T. Higgins.
Yeah, T. Higgins. There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of course, I don't know. Did Sammy Watkins retire?
He was on Baltimore last year.
Yeah, but is he coming back this year though? Let me look that up.
I'm not sure. He might be a free agent.
What do you say, Vic?
Yeah, I said IDK.
Oh, you don't know. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I say the real word.
Ross.
Yeah, so apparently Ross is looking pretty good in camp right now with Kansas City. So you know what I mean?
We forgot about Joseph McAdam.
You mean?
Yeah.
You mean Bob Ross?
Bob Ross. Bob Ross is in my hometown, by the way.
Bob Ross.
No mistakes, only happy accidents, bud.
Poor Sammy. Sammy Watkins, he really had a rough go of it. He had a couple of really good years, but he had those foot surgeries. He just never was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, look, Nuke has been the better player in the NFL, but Watkins, in my opinion, is the best receiver at Clemson that we've ever had.
I think I would agree with you there. Yeah.
So I got a question for the group, if that's okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the impact is going to be for teams that like to go fast in college football with the new rule changes to the running clock?
Gotta go fast.
I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
So one of the new rules in the college football now is that they have a running clock on first down.
Yes.
And all that fun stuff.
Right.
When you've got teams like Tennessee that prefer the hurry up, go fast offense, how much do you think that's going to impact those guys? That should take a pretty significant amount of time off the
Really?
clock.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it won't really affect the way they play. It will just take longer, but that won't really affect the way they play.
Now here's the question with that. They're going to keep the clock running. Are you still going to have a referee standing over the ball until they get the chain set?
Oh my God.
Oh, no. They're just not going to stop the clock for a first down, except for the last 2 minutes of both halves.
Well, I would imagine it's going to be the same. They're going to do it exactly the same way the NFL does it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Presumably, it would affect slower teams.
You'll just see everybody go out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think to answer your question, Brett, I think what this may actually encourage is for more teams to play faster than
Yeah, I think.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
Particularly when
the
coming
teams
from
that
behind.
like to go fast because
Three.
whether the pace of football stays the same for both teams, it would limit the number of possessions, or it's going to force teams that normally play slower to speed up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because every
Well, you play slow, that allows you, not stopping the clock at a first down. That allows you to go even slower and take even more time off the clock.
yeah, most offensive staffs are going into a game. They're going to have a goal. Like we really want to hit this many offensive plays during the game if we can, type thing.
But one of the things that I'm getting after is that when you have a team like Georgia that likes to just grind, if they're in the lead, they're going to grind the clock. So if Georgia can go 11 yards and pick up a first down, normally the clock would stop until you snap the ball.
Right.
So they're just gonna run the clock.
Yeah, it's
How
going to
you
make it
doing?
easier. It's going to make it easier for them to bleed clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that.
But well, here's the thing. At the same time, if they want to run the play clock down to 2 seconds.
Yeah,
they
see,
can
that
still do
doesn't matter in a first down situation when you're trying to grind the clock because, yeah, they stop it while you set the ball, but once they set the ball, you can still just run the clock down all the way down to 1, like he said. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it affects more. Well, it obviously affects the fourth quarter comebacks. That's really going to be the biggest one.
Right, and they're doing it actually, it's not like the NFL. I think that they're still going to stop the clock on first downs. Is it the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes
Except
or
for the
something?
last 2 minutes of each half.
Oh, okay.
2 minutes.
They are going to stop the clock.
So it's like the 2-minute drill deal. There you go.
I think it benefits. I think it benefits teams. Go ahead.
Which is when it only really matters anyway. So.
Right. I think it benefits teams that are going to try and limit the number of plays in order to pull an upset. I think it's designed to do a number of things. One of them is to increase a little bit of parity by giving teams that want to run the ball, a team like, say, an Army or a Navy, just as an example, who are going to try and run as few plays or allow the opposing offense to run as few plays as possible to grind the clock down a little bit more, perhaps. And the other thing is, and I think we're all more or less traditionalists here as far as it goes. I don't like them tinkering with the rules. I think the game's fine as it is. We fucking have so many goddamn commercials. So if you want to shorten the game for the viewer, just take out some of the fucking commercials instead of dicking around with the rules.
That's what I've been bitching about the whole time. They're trying to solve a problem that they created.
Right. It's
Exactly.
not. It's
Well,
not.
the NFL did the MLB did the same thing, except
Yes.
they
It's
implemented
not
the pitch
about
clock.
the games being shorter for the viewers. It's about the games being shorter for the players.
I think that's horseshit.
Yeah.
It's about them. It's not.
I don't think
If
they
they were
care.
worried about games being shorter for the players, they would still let them end in ties instead of going to 13 overtimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, or 7 overtimes, but yeah.
What was that?
Well,
They
LSU
couldn't go to
did that?
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was LSU and Texas A&M. Remember that one? That went.
Great game though.
Yeah,
Right.
trivia
And
time.
then Miami and Virginia last year.
Yeah.
Yes,
What was the first ever game to go to 7 overtimes? I remember this.
Yeah,
What was the
Buffalo
first ever game to go?
and Buffalo and Western Michigan went to overtime one time.
Do you
Went to
remember
overtime.
The first ever game to go to 7 overtimes?
What
No.
is it?
Who is it?
Kentucky.
I think it was
No.
Arkansas and Tennessee.
No, I think it was Arkansas and Kentucky. But
I was like Clint Sterner's Arkansas team against Tennessee in like
Good.
98 or something.
Google can end this
it was
argument real quick.
Kentucky.
Rick Sanchez says that Penn State and Illinois had 9 overtimes one time.
Yeah.
They did.
Yes,
Jesus.
that was under the new rules where I think it started
Right.
with like third overtime.
Yeah.
Go for 2. Right.
Wow.
It started changing 2-point attempts. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it the LSU and Texas A&M game that kind of
Yes.
that
74,
led
72.
it led to the change in the overtime rules because it was just insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vic, you were right. The Arkansas-Tennessee game in 2002, I'm thinking of, was 6 overtimes. First 7 overtime game was Arkansas-Kentucky. You are correct.
Well, then you had, you still had a bunch of overtimes in Miami, Virginia last year, Pete, with that new rule. So, what has it really changed? Fucking nothing.
Well, the difference with the new rule is that it's one play. After the second overtime, it's just a bunch of 2-point conversions.
Yeah, then they just go to 2-point conversions, yeah. And you're not allowed to kick field goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember this, but and maybe it was only in where I grew up, but in high school football, I think it was like after the third overtime, you got the ball at your own 35-yard line, and you had to get past the 50. If you got past the 50, it was 1 point. If the other team kept you from getting to it was 25-yard line. If the other team kept you from getting to the 50, they got a point, and that's how the game ended. It was 1 point.
Jesus Christ. What stoner came up with that idea?
the same one that came up with the coin flip rule in Texas over who won the division.
You know, if they wanted to increase ratings in college football, if they tied, instead of going to overtime, they should just let the 2 head coaches fight on the 50-yard line. Whoever gets knocked out first loses.
XFL
style, dude. Let Miami go to every game go to overtime. Then I feel good about my chances.
Well, there's also the 1-point safety rule, but we're not going to go into that.
Right. Well,
Yeah, but see, how fucked up would it be, though? That sounds all well and good, Pete, until you have, Bill Schneider out there against James Franklin.
Hey, man. Sorry.
No. Have Bill Snyder versus Lou Holtz.
You remember when Dan Mullen pretended like he wanted to fight Derek Mason? What an idiot.
Oh, yeah. So here's one.
I think
could any other FBS coach beat up Mario Cristobal or not?
Dude,
I know he's a black belt, isn't he, in jiu-jitsu?
Cooper Fart.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. So the answer is no. Okay, got it.
No.
On top of the fact that he's still a big dude.
Yeah.
Well, I think Curry Fart could do it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Kirby Smart looks like a roly-poly with blonde highlights.
Blonde highlights. I wonder if he's gonna bleach his hair like he did last year.
It depends on the matchup, but yeah.
It depends.
It depends on the matchup.
Yeah, Kirby.
Now there are some people would want to see. I want to see Saban and Jimbo go at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be good for your Lions
Saban
there,
and
Nate,
Jimbo.
because I think Dan Campbell could probably whip the ass of most of the NFL coaches.
Yeah.
What's up, Geek Cat? Yeah. Scott Kerr, thank you for the super chat. He says, this just in, the PGA wants to now merge with the SEC.
Conference realignment.
I know, just it's the SEC. There's SEC golf, right?
SEC golf, yeah. There is SEC golf, yeah.
Okay, right there.
No, I actually missed the Gold and Blue Dudes conference realignment videos, to be honest.
Again, I know that the UGA has a golf team, but yeah.
Well. Oh shit.
Well, I'm pretty sure that University of Florida just won the national championship.
Florida has a golf team.
Yeah. In golf,
That's positive.
Clemson is the 2003 golf national champions.
Hey, what do you think about that, Brett? I don't know how much you follow golf, but what do you think about the merger between the Live Tour and the PGA?
Oh man,
it was right up there with the merger between the Big Mountain East and the Cincinnati West Coast Golden Bank.
Well,
no, it's just.
As for me, I
cared more about
really
the merger
care.
between Time Warner and AOL.
Look,
I don't really care.
Yeah, so nobody really cared. First of all, it has nothing to do with golf. It has to do with the
money.
Well, no, I'm talking about the reason it's interesting.
Oh, okay.
It's because it's been a moral debate, at least on one side. And now
the PGA
these guys that have been standing on their moral high horse for the past year and a half, now they're basically playing for the same guys they've been saying are immoral. So what are they going to do?
They became.
I've never understood that argument because I've heard it obviously from a lot of people talking about things other than golf. And I'm not exactly saying Saudi Arabia is a bunch of great people, but I think it really doesn't matter where those fuckheads were from because, I mean, they're all over the fucking Middle East.
Well,
from country to country.
I'm so confused.
All right, guys.
What happened with this merger, or what the hell
Right.
was it?
So you're saying that they became the very thing they swore to destroy.
Vic wins. If you throw in a Star Wars reference, you just win.
Brett, basically, I don't. So the live or live golf tour popped up a couple of years ago, and it's basically a tour that is funded by the royal, the Saudis, the oil guys. And they paid a lot of these big names like Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson, and anyway a whole list of these guys, like boatloads of money. I mean, up to reports of up to $100 million for some of these guys just to leave the PGA and join the Live Golf Tour. So there was, I don't know how many dozen guys that were on the PGA Tour that left to go play for this Live Golf Tour, right? And the guys who were, and they courted more than that. There was some big names that the Live Golf Tour wanted, but this is where it got sticky. Instead of just saying, I don't want to go play for the tour, they're welcome to go play for the tour. They had to do the whole, what they're doing is wrong, what they're doing is immoral, to do business with the Saudis and this and that. And now the PGA Tour and the Live Tour have merged. And some of the reports are saying basically the Live Tour bought the PGA Tour out, so they're really the main stake owners in this now.
Right. So the issue is this. Obviously, there's the moral issue of the royal family in Saudi Arabia having done a lot of shady shit.
Right.
On the other side of that, the argument for the supporters of the Live Tour is that, as somebody just said, as Baylor Man just said, I think the purse in the Live events was triple that of what it was in the PGA.
Yeah.
And so the proponents of the Live Tour and the players as well are saying they changed the PGA and they forced the PGA's hand to increase the amount of money that they're paying to the players, right? And so now that the PGA has agreed. First of all, since the Live Tour was established, the PGA was forced to increase the purses and increase the payouts that they were giving to their own players just to compete with the Live Tour, so they didn't all fuck off over to Saudi or whatever. And now that they've actually agreed, just the PGA players are gonna make bank off of this, right? Even if they disagree with it morally or whatever.
But hey, Nate, I gotta let you go, buddy, because I gotta bring Baylor Man on here today.
See you guys.
Yeah, see you later, buddy. I believe that's Baylor Man. Is that really you, Baylor Man?
It's me.
Okay, good. Just you just never know these days. But so you follow this closely, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your opinion on it? I mean, are you just sort of like me? I just can't wait to see what players like Jordan Spieth and some of these other guys who've been on their high horse for the past year and a half, like how are they going to explain playing for the Saudis now? Or are they just going to quit?
What if they don't? I'm about to say, what if they do all quit?
No, they're not. That's my point.
So.
Guess how many of them will quit? Zero. This is what they do for a living. So now they're going to have to do some sort of weird mental gymnastics to explain why they're staying.
I would have more respect for every one of them if they would just come out and be like, you know what? They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So tell them, if the PGA is not going to pay me for my skills and talent, then I'm going to go where I'm paid.
Well, that's what the guys that left did say.
Actually, no, they don't have to do any mental gymnastics to stay there. There's no other professional golf tour, so it's either there.
Yeah, there is. There's all kinds of. There's a European tour. There's an Australian tour. There's an Asian tour. There's a tour in every continent.
Okay, well, what if they very well might go overseas.
No, they won't. They won't.
They won't.
No, they won't. Not a single damn one of them is leaving the tour. Not a one of them.
You're gonna go where you get paid. That's just how that's gonna work.
I just can't. Listen. I don't blame the guys that left and took that money. If somebody waves $100 million in front of my face, you can go fuck yourself. I'm going to take it. All right.
Play the drop.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I didn't plan that.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
There you go.
Well,
no.
you are missing something, Pete. This is 2023. They can all go join the LPGA.
Yeah, but the money's not very good over there. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. But you get to play from the ladies' tees, I guess. But so I don't blame them. And guess what? I don't blame the guys that or that are going to stay, even though they've been saying they would never play for the Saudis. But now they are. But I don't blame them for staying and to keep the money either. But I still can't wait to see the excuses that they come up with why it's okay now, but it wasn't okay, a week ago.
There was a footnote to all of those statements, and it said, "I will never play for the live tournament of the Saudi Arabians for that amount of money."
Right.
There you go. So what's he do now? When was that quote?
That's just the way. That's just life, dude.
Who said that? Who's that quote from?
That quote's from me.
Oh.
Pete, I want to propose a new drop, and it's from my favorite video of yours of all time, which is after 44-16.
Yes.
Where you were, and you said, and you looked in the camera and you said, "What are they gonna say now?" And
yeah.
It's one of my favorite Pete moments. I think you should make a drop out of that.
Okay. I'll have to go back and find that video. That was after the 16 or 18 national. That was after 16.
18.
No, 18. Yeah. I wasn't even on YouTube in 16. So yeah.
Yeah. It was a great video. It's my favorite Pete video of all time.
Well, I do think you'll very well probably have somebody who's got more than enough money that just says piss on all of you.
Well, Tiger Woods did, but he's a billionaire. So.
Yeah. Look, Rory McIlroy ain't gonna do it, and he's got a lot of money, but he ain't gonna do it.
Well, he said that. Yeah, he's one of the ones that said he wouldn't do it.
But he's gonna now.
But he's gonna now. That's right. That's my point.
So the PGA. The Masters tournament is part of the PGA, right?
Yes.
And the PGA, is that also part of the National Golf Foundation, or is that entirely different?
The National Golf what?
The National Golf Foundation.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
As far as I know, the PGA is like it's well, not now, but it was its own entity. I don't know if it's under any other umbrella. Right, Baylor man?
Yeah, so the PGA Tour is part of the PGA.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up.
another tautology.
The Saudi umbrella now.
And then the folks that run for the U.S. Open, that's the USGA, United States Golf.
Right. Yes.
Which is alongside PGA, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but they are separate. They are separate, but they work together. The USGA and the PGA.
Yeah.
Yes. It's yeah. Well, I wonder what they're going to call. Do you think that they'll attach the Live name to the PGA? Well, will it be PGA Live Tour or Live PGA Tour or whatever, or are they just going to just keep it the PGA Tour?
I'd say probably keep it as PGA, because the reason it's called Live is, it's the Roman numeral for 54. And because, they only play 3 days, 18 holes, 3 times 18, 54. Right. Whereas PGA, they play 4 days, 72 holes.
Yes, that's right.
I think it'll probably still stay PGA.
Right, because they're not going to move to the 3-day model. They're going to remain. They're going to still do 4 rounds.
No, but the only big change that I could see, I don't know if it'll happen, but I could see maybe, how Liv has the different teams. There's 4 guys per team, so it's maybe implement some sort of team play. I don't know. That could happen, but I'm not sure that it will.
Right.
who they don't know.
God, can't we find something better to talk about than golf?
Well, it's just
Well, okay.
Recruiting.
I've got something we could talk about, Big Dog
Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
We have 79 days until the season starts.
Yeah.
Now that is some good news.
that is good news. That's less than 80.
Yeah.
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 math.
11 more football-less Saturdays.
Sounds worse when you say it like that.
Yeah, no, it sounds better when you say it like that.
Yeah, Volusia in the chat. Of course, he's in the StreamYard too. He says they could easily just call it the LXXVII.
Yeah. 72.
That doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
You guys can't even. Oh my God.
The Lexv.
The Lexv.
Lexv.
I give it 6 months tops before Belusha's on here protesting this new golf tour.
No, I don't. I'm not. I don't have the bandwidth for that, dude.
Yeah, yes, you will.
I don't have the bandwidth for that, man. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't care.
Because especially if y'all are right, and the Saudis are basically taking control of the PGA, and they kick out every openly homosexual player.
No, that would be a problem.
Belusha will be on here starting a fucking riot.
Well, how
That would
many?
be a problem. That would be a problem.
I don't even know of an open one on the tour.
I don't know either.
Now I'm not. I don't.
follow golf, so.
Do you, Baylor, man?
Neither do I.
I don't think there is one that's.
I think there's probably several on the LPGA, but
Oh yeah.
I don't even know about that either.
Well,
I think you're more likely, from what I'm reading right now, I think they're more likely to have to separate at some point because of antitrust lawsuits than anything else.
yeah.
Yes. Sounds right. Yeah.
Well, that's something I didn't think about. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Antitrust lawsuits.
Like if you had a whole tour of people like Tim Daly, I might be able to get behind it. But,
You mean John Daly?
John
Daly,
Daly.
Well, who's Tim Daly? Is that his little brother or something?
Tyne Daly, the actress.
I mean, John Daly. He's out there with a beer and a cigarette.
Yeah.
Something tells me he can make it interesting.
You know what? He'll just toss his cigarette on the grass, hit his shot, pick it back up, and keep smoking it. What a genius. What was the article on SB Nation? It was one of the reporters followed him around for a round of golf, and he had like 21 cigarettes, 12 Diet Cokes, 6 packs of peanut M&Ms, and not a single ounce of water.
Yeah.
It was like in Arizona in the summer. I was like, dude, what a savage.
And that proves golf isn't a sport.
Well, he's just a freak, but John Daly's the man. But he did when he won the British Open. I forget what year it was, 1995 or 4.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. He doesn't even remember. And if you go back and watch, because he's drinking out of like a thermos or whatever it is, which we would assume was water, but it was just straight vodka.
It was 95.
Huh?
1995.
1995.
John Daly got drunk.
He's like that guy in the bar that gets really good at darts after his first 3 or 4 beers.
Yeah.
Dude, that's me, man. That's me, bro. Come on, dude. Come on.
So for those of you who don't know, John Daly got drunk, and it was on SEC Nation. It's been a few years back. And,
Yeah.
he was on live on TV, and he was just drunk.
Yeah. He don't give a shit.
He don't care.
Mm-mm. He's a musician too. He plays the guitar and sings.
Well, there's a lot of people that play the guitar and sing. He just does it better than most.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, like, he's actually pretty good.
He was meant to
I'm about
play.
to say, Bruce Willis thought he could sing at one point too. He even put out a couple albums.
I'll tell you somebody that he might be a little bit older than who this is, but Patrick Swayze, that guy can sing.
Yeah, of course. But like actor bands are cringe as hell. Who likes actor
Patrick
bands?
Swayze sang the song "She's Like the Wind" for the soundtrack Dirty Dancing.
Well, what's really funny is like if he was on stage singing, he'd get pissed off if you called him Bruce Willis. His name, the name on all of his albums was Bruno. Look this shit up. It's on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, I can't pick on the man too much because he's losing his facilities.
Is he?
Well,
Bruce Willis is, yeah.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's got some sort of, what is his thing anyway?
I think is it Alzheimer's?
Yeah,
I don't think it's Alzheimer's. I think it's something similar to that, but it's something different.
It's something like it, yeah.
Frontotemporal dementia.
He has a hard time, like, I don't think he can talk.
Fucking hell, really?
It's some sort of,
Completely retire from acting.
it's some sort of like rare cognitive disease. It's not Alzheimer's, but yeah, he's in bad shape.
Well, then who the fuck's gonna blow up the asteroid now? God damn, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ben
You can't have a guy sticking around on the dynamite stick, man. Fucking, you know?
Boy, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck's got to do it by himself.
Well, he's back with J-Lo. He might be itching to get on a rocket and shoot himself into space at this point.
Fuck him, probably. I mean, how stupid is that guy? You're going to be marriage number 4 for this broad after she's been ran through like a stop sign.
There you go.
You see, I can't remember because I don't watch these award shows, but there was a clip of it on Twitter. I don't know what the last award show they were there together, and she was fucking reaming his ass in the they're sitting in the audience. Well, he looked like a whipped puppy. I was like, man, he's miserable. She's like,
video of somebody making fun of him over it.
she's like scolding him in public. I was like, oh shit.
I mean, it was almost as bad as when Jada Pinkett got on her wife about it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Will Smith's husband is losing his hair, so that's.
You would have thought he'd have learned all his lessons from being the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, every life lesson you needed, like you could learn from the Andy Griffith Show or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They're the same thing.
There you go.
Yeah. How many of you saw the Chris Rock special? That came out recently after the Will Smith thing.
He fucking roasted.
My favorite parts. He's like, he wasn't mad at me. He was mad at her. He just hit me instead.
Well, I thought that you saw it live. Peter.
I did see it live. Yeah, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock came to Charleston. When was that? That was last. Yeah, I think it was like December or something.
I mean, some people have kind of downed this comment, but I still think it's true. If that was Ricky Gervais instead of Chris Rock, he wouldn't have got up and done that.
Yeah,
Because Ricky Gervais would have knocked him smooth the fuck out.
Well, I mean, Will Smith's a big guy. Will Smith's a big guy.
Yeah.
No, Will Smith is a tall guy, but he's as big around as Kevin Durant.
No, he's not. Sir, have you seen Ali?
Bro, Will Smith's pretty jacked.
He's jacked, man.
Will Smith's pretty jacked.
And Will Smith is basically, not Will Smith, Chris Rock's basically a little person. Have you ever seen him before?
Chris Rock is Bryce Young. Dude.
He's like 5'4".
But I mean, that's my point. If it was somebody that wasn't a human scarecrow, Will Smith wouldn't have done that.
Well, I think the other thing that we're overlooking here is, Will Smith is he's in pretty decent shape. He's not Dwayne the Rock Johnson from the early 2000s, but he's in pretty decent shape. But everybody's overlooking the fact that the man's 53 years old.
Right, but I mean,
I'm sorry.
Chris Rock is like 57.
Chicken, bro.
Chris Rock's older than Will Smith.
No spring chicken either, but I'm saying if he was to walk up there and pull something like that on, I don't know, like a Chris Pratt, he'd probably get his rocked.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the deal was that Chris Rock was just so shocked. I mean, by the entire situation. I mean, you can see the look on his face after it happens. He's like, "Holy fuck! What the fuck was that?"
I still think that part of me still wants to think that was the whole thing was a setup.
No,
I don't think it was, man. I don't think it was, dude.
No,
I don't know, man. I just they had everything perfectly framed. I don't know.
No, it wasn't set up. I think Chris Rock even talked about in his act. He's like, people thought it, I knew it was. He's like, I didn't know that shit was gonna happen. He's like, I'm not letting some grown man slap me in public.
That's why he said wow, because he wasn't expecting that to happen.
I kind of did.
That's why he said wow.
Here's the thing, man. I mean, Chris Rock is one of the greatest comedians of all time, right? If you're gonna slap somebody in front of millions and millions of people, Don't do it to somebody who's obviously gonna fucking tear your ass.
Yeah, that was a bad.
shreds.
Yeah. Well, Will Smith he's a weird dude, man.
Yeah.
He's a weird dude.
Well, I tend to believe that everybody, after they spend that much time with that much money, they lose contact with what reality is.
That's true, man. People get weird, dude.
I mean,
But the whole, it's not even just him. It's like that whole family dynamic, with Jada Pinkett or whatever, where she went on TV and talked about how she was cheating on Will with like her son's friend or some shit. That shit, the whole thing was weird.
Brett, you were saying you got
tape as to why.
Brett, you were gonna say you got Megan Fox out here drinking Machine Gun Kelly's blood or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is going on with that?
then you got back in the day, and she probably still does it, Angelina Jolie. She used to do the same thing with Billy Bob Thornton, and she was like on demand would make out with her brother. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think people, once you get that much money, it changes you on a fundamental level. I don't know how you could stay in show business and not absolutely change who you are as a person.
I mean, it's not everybody. I mean, look at Keanu Reeves. Like, he's the most normal of normal dudes, but
Actually,
most of them.
Actually, I love Keanu Reeves. He's one of my favorite actors.
Everybody does. I've never heard anybody say they don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's so guarded, though.
Everyone likes
He's super guarded. If you look at pictures of him, and you can pull it up right now, if you look at pictures that Keanu Reeves takes with fans, he like puts his arm around the person, but he never touches them.
He doesn't touch them. Kind of like floats around them. Yeah.
He doesn't touch them. Why? Is he like a germaphobe or something?
No, he doesn't want to be sued. He doesn't want to take the chance on being sued.
Oh, really?
But he like rides the subway. Go ahead. Sorry, Brett. Go ahead, bud.
Sorry. So to me, that is a fundamental change as a person. Is whenever you become so guarded and so, I won't say paranoid, but you have your guard up so much that you're not willing to touch another human being just to take a fan picture. That's got to have changed you fundamentally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean,
I do love the guy. Like, I'll watch anything he's in. I don't care what it is. I'll watch him.
Yeah, I like
Keanu
him.
will ride the subway in New York and like give up his seat for old ladies, and he keeps a hat on to keep a low profile. He'll sit down with a homeless guy and give him and smoke a cigarette with him and give him a sandwich. Like, he's
Yeah, I heard some lady that worked on the set at John Wick or whatever. She had like a house burned down or something. He like bought her a new house, something like that.
Like there was one movie he did where he made huge bang. I can't remember which one it was. But he like donated 90% of the money he made to like the cast and like the filmography, like all the regular peons running around. He does that kind of stuff. Was it Matrix?
That was the Matrix. He donated 70% of his salary to charity.
Well, no, but there was another movie. It wasn't the Matrix. It was later on when he had more money than that, where he donated it to the staff, like just the regular everyday interns and staff running around doing the legwork for the movie. Like 90% of the money he made, he just gave to everyone that was working on the film, stuff like that.
The only one I ever heard is where he donated like $10 million or something to like leukemia research or something.
Right. Yeah.
But I've heard the story, but I just can't.
It was the Matrix where he donated 90% of what he made to the film.
Well, that makes it even more impressive because he wasn't as rich back then,
Oh,
I mean, you know why though? I mean, I don't know if this is a widely known fact, but like a lot of that kind of stuff started, and like him riding the subway and all that kind of crap, when his wife, daughter, and best friend died in a car crash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's had a pretty interesting life. Yeah, he's had a lot of serious, like, didn't his sister die too or something? Like he's had a lot of tragedy in his life.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, he's had a lot of people.
And,
Actually, there's another one, but
what you were talking about, Pete, it was somebody on, I don't remember which one of the John Wick films it was, but it was like somebody on the crew, their house was about to get foreclosed on, and he transferred like 20 grand into her account, which is what she needed to save her house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
so he's one, but he's an exception to the rule. I think, Brett, what you said is true. Most of those people get that money and they turn weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I think like what Brett was talking about, the whole hovering his arm around people, I mean, I think that's to just avoid anything. I don't think that's like money's changing. I think it's to keep anybody from being able to say that he's done anything inappropriate.
Well, I mean, me and Pete both have to do this when we go out in public. It's embarrassing. Photograph and autograph.
I forgot.
I really don't do it for the lawsuit thing because I don't have any money. I do it so that if my wife sees a picture with me with somebody else, I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what if somebody asks you to Sharpie sign a tit? Would you do it?
Yes. Oh, did I say that out loud? Damn.
Yeah.
It just seems like the natural reaction is if a woman says we sign my breast, I feel like you're doing a disservice if you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you don't want to be rude.
Yeah, you don't want to be rude.
Then they won't watch your videos anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have astigmatism, so I have to double of everything, so I have to sign both to make sure.
You got to sign both. That's a good.
Yeah, put your first name on one tit and then like last name on the other.
I just put a B on the left, a D in the middle, and a B on the right. And I'm good.
I think another one that falls into that category got brought up earlier, and that's Chris Pratt.
What's that?
Yeah.
Well, before
That stayed very down to earth.
Oh.
Yeah.
He does a lot of like Jesus-y, preachy shit, which turns me off. But I still respect. I mean, I respect anyone's beliefs, even if they're different from mine. But yeah, I think Chris.
Dude, he got absolutely slaughtered online. I remember seeing a story about this because they raise like all the food that they eat. Like he owns like a ranch, and all the food they eat, they raise themselves, including all the meat.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I'll tell you like this: if you spend any amount of time on the internet making any kind of content, and you have any kind of visibility, I don't care where you stand or what stand you make, somebody's gonna think it's wrong.
Right. Sure.
Oh, sure.
So you might as well go ahead and be like, this is who I am. This is the way I am.
That's right. Because there's a whole lot of haters in this.
No, that's right. There's a whole lot of thank you.
Every time I see somebody like change direction and become overly apologetic to something they said or did, I keep going back to that scene in Full Metal Jacket. It was like, why do you keep saying that answer? Well, because I believe if the drill sergeant will beat me even more if I reverse my answer. That's the way society is. The people that you didn't piss off the first time, you're going to piss off the second time, and the people you pissed off the first time, you're never going to make them happy. So
that's right. The beatings will continue until compliance is achieved.
There you go. Or morale improves.
Well, that's I do have to go. So I can't, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. But that what you just said reminds me of the whole situation that's happened with Bud Light. They pissed off their group of people, and then they tried to do a 180 on that, and they pissed off the other group. Now everybody's mad at them.
They did like a 90.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're just balled up in a corner, crying and begging everybody for forgiveness after losing $27 billion.
You know what that whole thing proved to me? That whole thing proved to me that everybody on this show and in the chat section is smarter than the people that are making $1 bazillion at Bud Light. Because everybody that has any common sense can immediately go,
Yeah, that was a bad business. It was a bad business decision.
True, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I support in principle what they did, I guess. I mean, but at the same time, I wouldn't have made that fucking ad if I was working for them.
Well, it just shows you how.
No. The smartest thing ever said in business was Michael Jordan, because he refuses to take a side either way. Because he said back in the 90s, both people on the left and the right buy tennis shoes.
Yep.
There you go.
The other one that I heard was from Dolly Parton. She went on a late night show, and they asked her some question about it was a political question, and she said, "You know what?" She said, "I'm a singer. I'm an entertainer. Nobody really cares what my political opinion is, and I have fans on both sides. Any answer I give is wrong."
Yeah, it's funny. Some of the greats, like for instance, like Willie Nelson. Like, does anybody know how he votes? No. Does anybody care?
I bet he doesn't vote straight Republican.
I think I know how he smokes.
But I mean, what Dolly Parton said was right, though. I don't really care how Willie Nelson or Dolly Parton vote.
Yeah, I don't either.
Right. Well, I think it's fine if people have a cause that they want to stand up for, an opinion that they want to voice. You know what I mean? and they want to use their platform and their fame to voice what they believe in. I think that's okay. But then again, they have to also understand that that's going to lose them some fans. But, I think the people that are okay with that are
there's
fine.
nothing, anybody's free to say whatever they want, but don't be surprised when it turns people off. Like it's the mentality with a lot of these celebrities is that they are way more, they think they're really important, and they're just not.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
It's this self-importance entitlement sort of thing that they have.
I also think that this upcoming our generation and younger, I think most of us have figured out we don't give a what celebrity endorses whomever. We're not gonna vote for Billy Bob just because he was endorsed by Michael Jordan or LeBron James. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I want to know what's the person I'm voting for. Well, I need to know about them. I don't care that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson supported Joe Biden. I'm not voting for Joe Biden or against Joe Biden because of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'll still watch your movie, but I don't give a about your political opinion. Your political opinion is no more valid or important than mine or Slim's or anybody else's. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I think, there are people that I'm a fan of, be they comedians, actors, athletes, or whatever. Some of their political opinions are in line with mine. Some of them aren't, but that's not the fucking point. I'm not supporting them because of their political opinions. Now, if it's a politician, okay, that's a different thing. But I think you're right about that. Yeah. And we can sort of separate, the reason why we like this person or the reason why we support their work. If they're not a politician, it doesn't really matter. No, I support their right to support whoever they want to support, and I can agree with it or disagree with it. But I'm not going to stop liking a player just because he has a different opinion than I do, unless he says some wild, racist shit. Then okay, I might be like, all right, chill out.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, just because Robert De Niro said something bad about Trump, I still think Robert De Niro is a good actor.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. I like Robert De Niro's acting.
I have strong opinions about both sides, and I think that both sides are against the rest of us. But when somebody stands up and they say, I love this guy over here on this side of the aisle, and I love this guy over here on this side of the aisle, and they both hate each other, and they ask me what my opinion is. My opinion is that I'm damn glad that I live in a country where both of you can argue freely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm happy about.
Some of us like Belushi don't
I knew that was coming.
But you know what, man? To be honest, you're right about that. I mean, that's the worst thing about this country. That is the worst thing about this country. Yeah, you're right.
When I see stuff on TV and I see guys out there in the street marching for this cause or for that cause, whether I agree with their cause or not, if you want to get out there and you want to march for, veteran suicide awareness, great. If you want to get out there and you want to march because you believe in civil rights, great. I believe both people should be able to do that. And I think that the moment that either side tries to stop the other side, now we know who the villain is, at least on that particular situation. If you want to get out there and you want to stand in the street for whatever reason, hey, by God, have all the freedom you can have and go do it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with you. But
just don't stand in the street. I'm
you should be able to.
Right, sure. But then, so you think that it's okay if Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, right?
100%. I 100%.
We're on the same page.
He should be able to go out there and take a knee. He should be able to go out there and lay down. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he can stand on his fucking head if he wants to. Who cares?
I don't give a shit. I really don't.
But
see, that is kind of a bad example, though, because at this point, he's even calling his adoptive parents racist. I mean, how much of a shithead can you really be?
What?
That was, I didn't, that was.
Yeah, well.
Whether or not, if he takes a knee or anybody else takes a knee, if the women's basketball team refuses to come out during the anthem, hey, congratulations, that's freedom. People don't have to like it.
Yes.
They should at least accept and respect the fact that that person can do it. Because if you don't stand up for somebody else's right to voice their opinion, at some point, somebody's going to come silence you. And nobody's going to stand up for your right to say what you want to say.
So I want to point out that I completely agree with that. So anyone, Slim or anybody else in the chat who wants to talk shit about how I hate America, I agree with everything Brett just said. Okay, so I'm just going to put that flag.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anyone's ever accused you of hating America, have they?
Okay.
You just well, a minute.
Yeah, I do. But again, I wish Stetson the best, and I hope he has a wonderful career and a wonderful life.
I think that was like Voltaire, about the I do not agree with anything that you say, but I will defend to the death your right
to say it. Yes.
Correct. That is correct.
All right. Well,
that is 100% who I am.
yeah. That's a good way to end the show. Great quote there. And I do have to go though. So.
Slim, we didn't even fight this time. We agreed on most of the stuff.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Fight real quick.
Well, you did
Fight real quick, or do we save it for next time?
Maybe
Hey, not for lack of trying. I tried steering the conversation.
I know, but you
He
did.
tried to get you with the death penalty thing, but you didn't take the bait.
No, I
You
did
did.
not. We'll
So I
fight
just
next
gotta
time.
try
It's
harder
all right.
next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
fight next
looking
time.
forward to you guys
Yeah.
going at each other and wanting to kill each other again. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on, Pete. You guys have a good day.
All right. See you later, Brett. Big dog, Brett. Everybody. Thank you too, Baylor man.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day. Calling in to weigh in on the PGA situation. Vic, so you're not going to be on today, right? So Celine Driver is returning to the driver's seat for his own show. You don't have to, carry his dead weight anymore
Right.
on Wednesday. All right. So when will we see you then? Friday?
Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
Friday at 6 p.m. The VicTube. What do you call that show? Just
VicTube Live.
VicTube Live. Yeah. Everyone check them out. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. See you later, Vic.
Okay, bye.
All right. All right, gentlemen.
All right, guys. Hey, good chat again. And Pete, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes.
And y'all have a good day.
All right. See you later, Slim and Volusia.
Later on.
All right, buddy.
All right. There you have it. How about that? I don't know about you guys, but I had a really good time on the show today. I appreciate all the people that showed up in the chat. As usual, you guys are amazing and fantastic. I wouldn't do these shows without you. Otherwise, it would just be me on the phone talking to my friends. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll be back tonight at 10 p.m. for the call-in show. So everyone set your calendars, set your time, your Timex for that. All right, everyone. Have a great Wednesday. I'll see you tonight.